Quite new to their collection, and it isn't something that's been around for a while, so spoiler alert, it's not a Rodeo. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by today's video title, I am doing a Hermes haul. This is pretty much items that I bought for myself, to myself for Christmas. Before I get into the video, if you do like luxury videos about fashion, hauls, all that sort of stuff, then please hit the subscribe button below if you aren't already subscribed, of course, and also hit that bell notification so you can be notified when I upload new videos, which is generally at least once a week. With that bell notification, it also helps with the YouTube algorithm to make sure that my videos do appear on the feeds of people that do like to watch luxury videos. So even if you know, someone who's not subscribed, they may like my content, they will see the algorithm will help my video to pop up as a recommended video, which does all in all help me with my channel, help my motivation to continue filming. Now let's get into the haul. So I do have this big bag here, which is quite deceiving. This is actually items that I purchased from the store. It's quite deceiving because no, there is not a bag inside. However, the size of this bag makes it look like there is a bag inside, but there is not. However, we'll get to unboxing what's in there last. With the online store, you do get the booklet with the receipt inside. They did kindly include some perfume samples. I believe that's what's inside here. You don't always get them, but they have given it this time around. So let's open it up and have a look and see. I like how cute this little bag is. They haven't actually given me a really tiny bag before when they've given samples. So this is cute actually. I could hang this from the Christmas tree as a Christmas ornament, so maybe they had that in mind. Alright, so there's just one box of samples inside. There's probably 2 perfume samples inside though. Yeah, there is, yeah. Okay, so they've given me the Twilly sample, the Hermes Twilly, which is quite popular. It's only been around maybe I think this came out 2017. And they've just given me another Hermes Twilly sample. And inside, so this is how it comes packaged with this elastic on it from the Hermes store. Hermes. Welcome to Hermes. That's what they say when you ring. So I did actually have to ring about this charm because I had ordered it on the Thursday, and I was expecting that it would actually arrive in the store in time because I was going to go visit my sales associate on the Sunday. However, it was slow to arrive in store. It didn't get there, I think obviously because it's busy season. So I ended up having to call the Hermes store. I sent them an email as well over the weekend and said to them, can you please change it to delivery? And then I contacted them first thing on the Monday morning, and they said, oh yes, we've received your email. So the item's already gone to the store, but we'll tell them to ship it back to us and we'll deliver it to you, and you should get it by the Thursday. They actually done it really quickly. I actually ended up with the charm the very next day, so it arrived on the Tuesday, and the Hermes store online was so helpful. So I did appreciate that they, you know, didn't make the situation any more stressful than it was, because I was like, oh gosh, I really want this charm and I'm not going to be able to go back to the boutique. So I've rambled a bit about that, but I just wanted to give them a bit of a gloating recognition for how great the online Hermes store is. So inside, like I said, it is not a Rodeo charm. So opening it up, I know it's a charm and it's expensive, but it's rare, it's new, it's seasonal, it's not a permanent item, so that's what makes me extra excited about it. And inside is, look at how cute it is. Look at it. Oh my gosh, it is so cute and expensive. So this is the new, this has come out only this season. So I believe this is for winter. The Hermes sack charm for shopping bag, you know, bag charm. It's a bag charm for a bag charm. Bit of a pun there. And yeah, it's the same price as a Rodeo, 665 Australian dollars. And it's got the debossing, I forgot, I'm having a mind blank. It says Hermes on either side, and it's got the H stamp. It pretty much says the address for FSH at the bottom, and it's stitched on the sides as well, so there's quite a lot of detailing that's gone into this charm. And it feels smushy too, like it doesn't feel like it's got like smush inside like how the Rodeos are. Also the stitching at the bottom too. Yes, this is my new bag charm. Maybe I'll grab a bag to see what it looks like on it. let me grab one of my bags. So I've just grabbed my Hermes Kelly just to see what it looks like on the bag. And with this particular charm, I asked, I didn't even know that this was coming out this season. I don't really, even though I love Hermes, it gets hard to kind of keep on top of everything, and sometimes the upcoming items, unless you're like a VIP, you don't get notified of them. So I didn't even know that this was coming out, and then I started to see it trickle like on Instagram, photos of it, and I was like, oh, okay, I want this. So I'd asked my SA to get it for me, and she said, it's a seasonal charm, we don't have any stock. I can't even see if we're getting any in. However, I put you down on the wait list, so when we do get it, I'll let you know. And I knew not to hold my breath with that. So yeah, I was lucky enough to get this on the online store, which is really far better. In my opinion, if you are looking for the Hermes Rodeos, bag charms like this, it's better to just stalk the online store, because with the online store, there is no wait list, there's no bias, there's no favoritism, nothing like that. You can just get whatever stock they put up online. It is yours for the taking if you're fast enough to buy it. Now, moving along to what's inside this bag, I'm just going to grab the items out of it because, like I said, there isn't a bag inside. And from what's inside, yeah, this bag is still fairly empty. We'll start off with the perfume samples I was given by my sales associate. So I bought these, whatever's in this bag is from the store. She also gave me 2 of the Twilly samples, but I gave them to my mum. As soon as I came back from the city and picked my daughter up from my parents' house, I gave the Twilly samples to my mum. This one is a men's cologne. So I'll see if my husband wants it, and if he doesn't, I will give them to my dad. So those are just some nice perfume samples. Next item, let's go with this little thing. I'm going to put this bag down because it's too big. So the little item here, quite obvious, this is going to be a Twilly. And I had actually requested 2 Twillys, this one and another one, and I ended up changing my mind on the other one for a couple reasons. I ended up getting another item that I had wanted, but I didn't know was available, so I hadn't really kind of planned for it. And the other reason was it's similar to the Twilly I already have, which can be a good thing for on your Birkin, but sometimes I also just like to collect the ones that are really sought after when it comes to the Twillys. Inside is this Twilly, which is quite sought after. It's the Boldock, I think that's how you say it. I'll spell it on the screen. It is a classic print from Hermes. It's been around for a while, but they haven't produced it in a Twilly form before. I don't believe this has ever come in a Twilly form. It's come in like scarves and like handkerchiefs, but I don't think they've ever done it in a Twilly form. I could be wrong, but either way, it is a classic print and it hasn't been produced for quite some time. Essentially, it's the Hermes ribbon interwoven, like that kind of print, and then the ribbon is of different colors, and on the end it's got pink, which I thought was really cute as well. It's a nice little touch. So it's blue, pale pink, and that pop of pink at the end. This will go really well with my Kelly bag for sure. On my Birkin, I would still use it, but on the Birkin, when I am only using one Twilly, I tend to only use it at the back handle. So this will probably stay more so on my Kelly bag, I can imagine. Next one is, like I said, it's not a bag, so I think the next best thing that you can kind of guess from it is shoes. So inside is shoes, and I had ordered these, I think a couple months ago, and then I wasn't able to get to store till I wasn't able to get to the store until November, but then my sales associate was on leave, so she ended up holding these shoes twice over. They're usually only supposed to hold items for a week, but she ended up getting these held for a month for me, which is quite nice. I really appreciate that she was able to bend the rules slightly for me. So, classic shoes inside. However, the color is not classic. Gonna see what the price is while I'm pulling this out. Okay, so I can tell you guys. So inside is the classic Hermes Oran sandals. Everyone knows these shoes. Not everyone likes them. Some people think that they look a little bit grandma-like. I can understand where they're coming from. But for me, what I do like about these shoes is that they're very understated. They don't scream any particular brand, but if you know these shoes, and even if you know Hermes, most people in the luxury community know that these are Hermes Orans, but I like the fact that they're understated. So they don't clash with any of the like bags that I carry, my outfits. They just blend quite seamlessly with the outfit, and they're also quite comfortable and casual. Now these are seasonal. This is a seasonal color called Rouge Blush, and it's actually pink all the way around Whereas usually with the Orans and even the Oasis, this part is actually usually in brown. It's in that cork color. Whereas with these, they're actually all the way around a full pink, completely around, except the soles, of course, are bare. But I did like that touch that they had, that the whole shoe is in that rouge blush color, the entire shoe. The Orans keep going up in price. These are now $970. I remember before when I first bought Orans, when I first started shopping with the boutique, I paid $850. So that was just a little over 2 years ago. They've jumped by more than $100 in less than 2 years. So if you're wanting Orans, it's better to just go for it, just get them. But yes, I'm going to enjoy using these. I can also comment that these tend to run a bit big for this particular color and leather. It says that this is in Chev leather. It doesn't say if it's Chev Mysore, but it says it's in actually Chev leather, whereas the other Orans and the Oasis are in Swift. So that could be why that this tends to run a little bit big. I feel that when I try, even my sales associate seeing them, she's like, hang on, they look a little bit like slightly big on you, like your feet are going quite like a bit far forward. And she looked at my history and she's like, all your shoes have always been a 36. You even bought a 36.5 in Orans before. That was when, like with my first pregnancy, after my first pregnancy, I bought 36.5, but I tend to stay with 36, and even then I need to break them in. But with these ones, they run slightly big. I think if you have wide feet or even average feet, you will much prefer this style, this color, which all the other Orans don't tend to run like this. Just this particular color and leather, it is running slightly big around here, so you would find them more comfortable. You wouldn't need to break them in, and you should still stick with your true size. The very last item that I did pick up from the boutique from my sales associate, oh, it's still got the little tag on it. This was something that I had been asking for. I've been asking for this for probably at least about 3 months now for one of these particular items. I had asked for either this one or another option, and I had specified the smallest size that they could get. But then because it was a new item, when I went to store and I tried it on, and I realized I could actually go up to the next size, which meant that I was then able to get this, because the extra small in these and even in the other items, it's very hard to get. So I'm talking about a bracelet. Oh my gosh, when I'm trying to not say what it is, it gets very confusing. So typically in bracelets, I'm a T1 size, which is the extra small, because I have a very, very small wrist. My wrist circumference is only 14.5 centimeters. So I'm always generally an extra small. In the Kelly dogs, I'm an extra small. That was the other bracelet I had wanted to get. This is not a Kelly dog. This is a new bracelet that they've only introduced to Hermes in the past, what, I think it's been 8 months or something like that, maybe even less than 8 months. And yeah, it's essentially, it is a redesign, smaller design of a classic bracelet that Hermes has had for quite a while and is extremely popular. So it comes in this kind of like a velvet pouch, and inside is what would look like a CDC bracelet, but in fact it is the Collier de Chêne 24. So this is the smaller size of the CDC bracelet. With the CDC classic bracelet, it has four of those kind of studs there, and then it has the ring in the middle. So this is essentially half the size. It's without the ring. It still has the same like detailing that the classic Collier de Chêne has, which is this part here, and it's still got the classic closure, which is the same thing that's on the classic CDC. It's just that it's really just almost half the size, a little bit more than half the size, I would say. Oh, it might even be half. Maybe it's half the size. But yeah, which is better for me, because I found with the classic CDC it's way too overwhelming on my little wrist. I do, however, like the Kelly dog, but the Kelly dog just isn't as bulky. That's why it doesn't look so big on my wrist, because it's only just the one hardware detailing, whereas the CDC, and there's a lot more going on. So this is in a T2 size. The color is in gold, which is the classic Hermes gold, and the leather is Epsom. So it is Epsom leather. I have no problem with Epsom leather on shoes and small leather goods and bracelets. It's more so in bags that there's a bigger surface area that I find that I tend to scratch Epsom leather quite easily. So let's just go ahead and peel this off. Also, the price on this is $1,080. It's in gold hardware. It is more expensive than the Kelly Dog bracelet. I think the Kelly Dog bracelet is $890, I think, but it's definitely under $1,000, whereas this is over $1,000. So it is quite pricey for just a leather bracelet. The CDC, however, is I think $1,600, so at least it's less than that. CDC is much more classic, more sought after, but at the end of the day, you have to go with what works for you. There's no point just buying something because it's more classic than the other. This may build momentum over time and more people will begin to know what this is. It's still a CDC, it's still called a collier de chaîne, so it's just smaller. My sales associate also said to me, make sure that you remove the plastic from the hardware even of your bags as well. And this is something that I already knew, but basically I just wanted to remind you guys, and this is specifically from the words of like a sales associate's mouth. She's actually the team leader as well, so she does have to go through a little bit more rigorous training when it comes to understanding the products. And she said that what happens is when you do leave the stickers on the hardware, if it comes in contact with sun and it's exposed to sun for even if you just sit driving in your car and you have your car sitting there and it's getting sunlight on it, what can happen is that you can actually melt the stickers and it can melt to the hardware. It can cause a tackiness to the hardware, so the sticky residue will transfer onto the actual hardware. So it is best to always remove the stickers. Another thing I did know that she didn't mention, but this doesn't really affect our climate so much in Australia, it's very dry, but in climates like Singapore, particularly Singapore, Malaysia, if you leave the stickers on, and even Japan, you are far more at risk of oxidization happening to the hardware because of the moisture and humidity that is in the air. If it gets in underneath the sticker, which is quite easy because these stickers aren't exactly airtight on the hardware, if it gets in underneath, that's how you get the green oxidization happening, and the tarnish will happen to your hardware, which can be irreparable as well, and you may need a complete hardware replacement. So it's always good to just take the stickers off. I understand trying to leave them on for as long as you can. If you're in a drier climate, it's not so bad, but then if you're in a drier climate and it's quite sunny, you're even more like you're giving yourself the same sort of risk. So yes, I just thought that I would mention that. Now let's try this on. Now if I'm just wearing this on my wrist with nothing else, I believe I had to do the tightest setting. If I'm going to wear it with my Pandora bracelet, which means that it'll go slightly up my wrist, then I will wear it on the middle setting. Also in summer, and with the swelling that will happen inevitably with my pregnancy, I'll probably have to go sit more oftenly in the middle setting anyway. So we'll just go to the tightest one. Plus, you don't want it to be so tight that it feels uncomfortable because it's leather and you're naturally going to sweat, and you just want room for your skin to breathe. So that's on the tightest one. If I were to just wear it on its own, I could wear it on the tightest setting. It hardly moves. It is very, very snug, and I find that to be relatively comfortable. However, if I was wearing this on a very hot day, walking around outside, or even if it was just quite a hot day, like we get temperatures in the 40s, in the 40 degrees, so even if you're just going out for 5 minutes, it's hot. So I'm just going to move it onto the middle setting. So like I said, for reference, my wrist is 14.5 centimeters, and this is the T2 size. So that's at the smallest point on my wrist, it's 14.5 centimeters. So that's now on the middle setting. So it's looser, but it's not like really, really loose. Like it's not loose to the point where it's uncomfortable. It's still a comfortable loose. If I were to put it on the very loosest setting, that would just be far too loose. So yeah, that's that bracelet, and I quite like it. I think that it's in proportion with my wrist and my hand size because it is small. I'm quite a small person. I'm only short as well. I've got small feet as well. My shoe size is only 36. So yes, I'm going to stop talking now because I think I've unboxed everything. I've given you all the prices. Of course, if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to leave them down in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and also film after this, because this video will be uploaded first. I'm going to go ahead and film an update on my Hermes journey so I can include how much I have spent since my last bag and my progress, where I'm at and that sort of thing, and just fill you in on some details with that. So that video will be coming somewhere along the line shortly after this video. But yes, otherwise, that is all I have to say, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!